Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And I am so happy to be able to bring this figure to you. We already took a look at the core class, but to really start a review of Legacy Wave 1 proper, here is Voyager class Bulkhead. Actually, the full name is Prime Universe Bulkhead. And I got to tell you right off the bat, this is a great figure. There's a lot going on here that you wouldn't realize. I mean, if you thought you knew how it transformed just by looking at the pictures, you were probably wrong. A lot of stuff going on that I just can't get over. I mean, it's intuitive. I mean, once you do it once, it's intuitive. It's not simple, but it's not difficult. It's a simple, involved transformation, if that makes sense. And I hope all of you get a chance to experience it. Now, if you, like I said, the name is Prime Universe Bulkhead. From what I've heard, the story behind Legacy was going to be a bit of a multi-universal story with the Transformers. I guess Hasbro was borrowing from their Marvel license, but that it would be bringing in characters and designs from all across the history of Transformers. G1, Beast Wars, Prime, Armada, stuff like that. Now, of course, the designs are a little more streamlined. Now, I know a lot of people had a problem with that because Bulkhead looks a little more G1-ish and less bulky. Well, let's keep in mind that the animation design was really like that cartoon anime, American anime design to the extreme. Prime refined it a little. So to bring it into Legacy with this multiverse type of theme going on, yeah, it would change that much more. I mean, for example, remember the episode of The Simpsons where Homer got pulled into the real world and he looked like a three-dimensional CGI character? It makes sense that, you know, the character design would change being brought into a different world. Going from like a CGI world to a hand-drawn animated world. There's going to be a little difference. That's not to say that when Bulkhead goes back, it'll look more like that traditional design. But like I said, it's a fantastic look. One thing I do want to mention, and that's why we're starting off like this, is the instructions aren't nearly as good as they could be. And that's a bit disappointing to me. Really, it's just, yeah, a lot of stuff there going on. So we'll pause, and I'll come back, and we'll get into the review. Okay, just to mention, I screwed up, and I actually had the shield in the wrong position. You basically want it facing with these panels facing outward. But while we're talking about the shield, there is some modular playability with this figure. You can remove the shield and then using that black peg, peg it into the front of the mace weapon, so you can have him hold the shield forward facing, and then remove the gun from the shoulder and basically have Bulkhead using it as a small handheld weapon, which is kind of cool. Other than that, if you want more, just don't want to use the shield at all, go ahead, remove it like this, flip that peg down, bring it around the back here, and you can just peg it in using that green peg. And in fact, you'll have to do this for the transformation. You then, of course, can leave the gun in the hand, return it to the shoulder. We'll just go ahead and remove it from the hand right now to make the transformation a little, for the transformation, which we're going to get to. And we should also then, at that point, remove this mace weapon, which pegs in to the right hand. And it is molded for the right hand. I'll show you that in a minute. But basically what you want to do is come in underneath, open up that hinge, and then wiggle jiggle the mace out of the hand. And as you can see right there, you can see how the peg is offset. Close that up. There is plenty of weapon storage on the back in terms of the panels and stuff here. If you don't want him using the mace or having the gun displayed, you've got options. Returning the figure to a neutral pose, we can start the transformation. And it is quite, I feel, an enjoyable transformation. Like I said, it's not easy, but it's intuitive. And I think once you do it a couple times, it's not that difficult. To start, flip up that back section right there, just a little bit. Next, what you want to do is come into the side, unpeg the arms from the side of the cab. Oops, first time I had that happen. That will loosen up the front of the cab, and you're going to want to lift that up. And then once you do that, keep bringing the whole section back on that hinge right there so you have it splayed out. At this point, you have some options. The first thing I would do is come in here, bring the head down. You know, it's not going to sit flush, but it will kind of snap into place there. But the next thing which you want to do is come in underneath here, bring down that black panel, swing it around, and just use your thumb to push it into place. Next, one of the bits that I feel the instructions don't explain well is what to do with this black piece. You want to detach it from the waist there, and it is a little tight. It gets a little easier as time goes on, but you want to basically flip it all the way around so it's out of the way. And then what you want to do is, on this gray section, unpeg that and bring it forward. So basically you have Bulkhead splayed out like this. Coming back to the front of the vehicle, what will be the vehicle mode, you want to bring the arms down, and they're on this like double hinge swivel joint, which I think is really cool, as you can see here. And you're going to bring that down all the way around both sides, and they're going to peg together just like so. And they're going to, and basically you got the arms together like that. Make sure they're facing straight. Bend at the elbow. And on my figure, the elbows are a little bit on the tight side, but you want to bend them all the way up so they have nowhere else to go. And then flip them up into the chest, well, up under the cab like that. Now, the instructions really are a little ambiguous here. They don't tell you when to bring the cab down. I would say bring the cab down now and snap it into place. And since we're back, and why we're back here, even though the instructions tell you to do it later on, I don't see why you can't do it now. Push that fake wheel section down underneath so the wheels will open up, and split them out. There are tabs right where my thumb is, and well, slots with tabs on the wheel that they'll sort of soft tab into place, just like that. And so now you basically have the cab done. What we can do now is go ahead and start working on the legs. And first thing I would do is flip the heels up. Next, you want to open up these side panels. And this is a cool bit where you lift up and rotate these gas tanks, close up the side panels. Don't do anything with those gas tanks yet. We're just getting them out. Bend the knees up at the leg. I mean, bend the legs at the knee, and then peg the feet together. Now you're basically in this position where, with the legs up there's a tab on the inside of the calf. So, excuse me, a slot on the inside of the calf that you can tab the gas tank into. Bring accordion. So you basically have the vehicle now looking like this. And this is where the instructions really don't explain it. You want to accordion everything down just like so. There are slots here on the back that are going to that are going to be used to tab into the gas tank. And you get one, you get the other. Squeeze it up nice and tight. You'll notice there are some slots on the top of the heels. Those are going to sit in tabs on the back of the bed. Now, this is where we can get to the weapon storage. And you might have wanted to do this before you got to this point, but you can fit your hand in. Basically, there's a, you know what, let me, for the sake of demonstration, there's a tab right there. And you can do this with it like all closed up. Peg the gun in like that. And then with the flat side facing inward, there's a second tab that the ball will peg into. So close that back up. Just like that. And then finally fold down these panels. There are tabs on them that will line up and peg into the side. And there you have Bulkhead in its truck mode. And a lot of people have said a lot of things about this mode. Is it a pre-tool for Beast Hunter's Optimus Prime? Possibly. Will it be used forward in the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover line? Maybe, because I do see a lot of the APC carrier in this. But then again, it's a little too small to hold the figure. Also, we have seen the Crash and Change and a Legends style, Legion style Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, that seeing the wheel placement and overall vehicle design of that, I see a lot of that in this version of Bulkhead. So this might be used for that as a wink and a nod. I know a lot of people have said, well, that doesn't happen. They usually, don't use from Generations. Just because Hasbro hasn't done it yet, or has said that they don't do that, doesn't mean they're not going to. Toy collector for 20 years, I can give you a list of things that Hasbro has said they won't do, aren't going to do, will no longer do, and they kept doing, started doing. So there's that. Vehicle mode rolls quite nicely. Really like how it comes together. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to go back to robot mode. Seeing as how that, there was again, a little ambiguity there and some parts that I think can use a little explanation. First thing what you want to do is pop up this canopy, bring the side panels out. That's about as far as it'll go. It'll stay like that. Next, what you want to do is separate the back. So you want to splay it out just like that. And you can go ahead now and remove the weapons as my cat is joining us. Hopefully this will go well. So take off the blaster and remove the ball right there. All right. Now, one thing I want to show you, and Delay, are you going to help me? Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about the feet. One thing that's nice about the feet pegging in is that's actually how you're going to get the heels out. And let me tell you, if you don't use it do it that way, it's very hard to flip out the heels. Basically, flip the feet out, and the heels will stay pegged in. So once you got them out, just unpeg them like that. Real simple, real nice, just like that. And that's something I think would have been nice to have been shown in the instructions, but whatever. Unpeg the gas containers and straighten out the legs. Separate them, open up these panels, lift, rotate, slide it back in. Do it again on this side. Lift, rotate, slide it back in. You know, keep everything straight and nice. Come up here to the behind the cab and peg those wheels together and flip up that panel while you're angling down that canopy piece. There is like a little tab there that will peg into that section. Come in underneath here. I would go ahead and just bring that down now. Bring this black section down a little, and then snap the gray piece back into the waist. Snap the black section down like so. By the way, I almost forgot to mention, this whole canopy, I'm pretty sure, is painted clear plastic. So yeah, that's not a good thing, right, Delilah? Huh? Who's your good baby? Yeah, don't nip at me. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, bring that section back so you can free up the arms. Rotate them out all the way out. Separate like that. That'll hinge out. Use your finger, push that black panel in. Use your thumb, bring up Bulkhead's head. Bring the chest piece down. Peg the arms in. Swing this forward. There's a groove section that will peg into that black section. That's going to help hold the chest into place. And make sure that you push up that panel all the way. I mean, Bulkhead's head doesn't sit up that far, but it should be enough that like it kind of clears the collar piece right there. And then go ahead, bring this canopy down. It'll sort of peg into place. And here's the robot mode with my cat. There's a short tab there. There's a hole. Make sure you push this in good so it doesn't like just pop out, although it really doesn't hold as well as you would like. And then again, open up this section right here. Add the mace to Bulkhead's hand. Close it up. And there we have Bulkhead back in its robot mode. Now, quick mention of articulation. You have universal joints in the shoulders and hips, that deep knee bend, and of course, you have ankle pivot. The head is on a ball joint, but due to the design of the head as well as the nature of that collar piece, you really can't get much out of it. So, there's that. We'll pause, and I'll come back with my final thoughts. Like I said in the beginning, I really like Bulkhead. I think this is a fantastic figure. The transformation is really, really fun. And again, you think you knew how it was going to work, but then they threw some things in, with how that like double hinging of the torso, the rotation of that black piece. And I especially liked how those legs opened up to hide the gas cans. It comes together well. It's a tight vehicle mode. Obviously, yes, this whole chest section underneath, it is hollow, but it's hollow for a point. That's where the arms go. And it works. Yes, this is a different design to Bulkhead than what we're used to. But then again, the original G1 Bulkhead was different from animated. Prime, which is where this is coming from, Made a little tweaks to that design. And again, being part of the multiverse, traveling through time, it does make sense that his appearance would change as like the cosmic energies of traveling through the multiverse would do that. I mean, stuff happens. I'm not as I'm not an expert on the multiverse, but let's ask Doctor Strange. But that's about it for the review. I got this figure from thecommandstore.com. It came now. I do want to mention with Legacy, the Hasbro this is the full push for their new eco-friendly box design. And I have to tell you, I have heard from some people who've gotten some of the deluxes off of Amazon, and they're not coming in good condition. They're being packed in mailer bags, some of them not padded. The boxes are coming crushed. The toys are coming damaged. And some of them, they're even covered in dust, which means they've been sitting on a shelf for a time that they can collect dust. And that will happen with the open window. Ordering from a place like Command Store, yes, you're paying a couple dollars more per figure, sometimes more depending on the demand. They are a hobby shop. But the figures came, I got Bulkhead and all of the Wave 1 Deluxes. They came packed well in a box, wrapped in paper, in a good condition. I feel safe in saying that ordering the Legacy figures from them, you'll get them in a usable condition. I mean, sure, you may not keep the box for storage like I do, but you also may not want to get a figure that looks like it's been run over. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry, Delilah. Am I boring you? Am I boring you? The guys saw that, right? It helps communicate to YouTube with their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. I might have mentioned this before, but with these stolen toy reviewers popping up, it's very hard for guys like me to get noticed because they get a lot of the attention. They'll review figures months, if not a year, before they're going to see retail release. So supporting guys like me who wait and buy these figures from reputable retailers really does help. So by liking and subscribing, you help tell YouTube that my views, my videos and videos of other reviewers like me should be pushed forward. I do have a Patreon. The card here in the corner somewhere, right there. And there's a hyperlink in the description below. You know the spiel. It's only $1 a month, $12 a year. But if you can't swing it, that's fine. Your views are more than thanks enough. So that's about it for Bulkhead. And I think you can see Her Royal Majesty Princess Delilah. This is your old pal Chuck, and we will see you next time. Do you have anything else to add, Delilah? Huh? You want to say anything? You beautiful kid, yeah. Take care, guys.